Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. You know, I've been really getting into iced coffee lately. Not like at like a Starbucks or like a coffee shop, but just kind of making iced coffee. You know, and now that it's summer, it's warmer, it's hotter. It's you don't really want to be near food or drink that's too excruciatingly hot, because what if you're outside? What if you're somewhere where it isn't as cool as it can be? And the fact that it's summer outside means that, it's just not going to be as cool. You're going out in t-shirts and shorts and because of the weather. Well, I'm a big fan of drinking coffee. I usually drink a cup a day, at least, sometimes two. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let the weather, the season, the temperature, stop me from drinking coffee, something that I very much enjoy. So I have a Keurig, here, and I make the cup of coffee every day. It gets it hot, and, that's how I like it. But, since it's hot, I decided, well, I'll make the Keurig, the K-cup of coffee, put in the coffee cup. Let's sit there for a little bit just so it is not as hot as it can be. And then once it's like a pretty decent temperature, I'll put some ice in it. I have some right now in my Yeti, just my Yeti cup right here. I got some coffee, brewed a K-cup as with the most amount of water as I can, and put in this Yeti and put some ice in it. And let me tell you, man, there's something about iced coffee that in some ways feels a little bit more energizing than hot coffee. Let me break it down to you. For some reason, a hot drink like coffee, hot cocoa, sometimes hot chocolate, whatever, sometimes it kind of makes me feel like I need to take a nap or go to sleep. Whether that be in the morning, night, afternoon, whatever. Sometimes it just makes me, have like that, it's time to wind down. Usually not as much as in the morning, but when I get home from work, sometimes I want a cup of coffee to, to keep myself up, not just take a nap. So I'll have that. But sometimes I'll have a counter reaction. I'll be like, oh no, it's like, it kind of makes me want to get all warm and snuggly and take a nap. And I have to avoid that. Now that it's hot outside and it just, I don't want to be hot, I've switched over to iced coffee. And the fact that it is cold, iced, for that matter, it feels more of a drink to keep me wide awake than to put me to sleep. I understand that there's caffeine in coffee, and that is supposed to, keep you up or prevent you from going to sleep, in theory. Sometimes it doesn't always work. Other times it does. I just feel like in this case, it does feel like I can stay awake much easier that it's iced coffee. It feels more like an elixir to keep me awake than to put me to sleep or to make me feel like I need to take a snooze. Sometimes it just doesn't always work, but most times when I've had it in these past couple days, it has made me feel like I don't need to take a nap, which is a good thing. The last thing I need is to come back, have a nice hot cup of coffee, and then it put me on my ass and I just take a nap. That's the least thing. That's the one thing that I don't want to have happen to me when I drink my cup of coffee. The one thing. I mean, I've never also ever been like had too much coffee and felt jittery. Not once in my entire life. That might just be a lie from like entertainment, like TV shows and movies, that stuff happens. Never once experienced that in my entire life. Actually getting jitters from coffee, come on. I actually used to drink a lot more than I do today. If I'm being completely honest. Sometimes before I had a K-cup machine, right, a Keurig, I, just like most people, had a coffee pot, coffee machine, Mr. Coffee, where you just fill up the pot And that's how much you have, is how much is in the pot, right? You put the grounds of coffee in and it just makes the coffee. I used to have one of those, and I used to kill pots of coffee, not like multiple a day, but I would drink like, almost a lot of the pot I would drink, just because I love the taste. And it was like, supposed to keep you awake. And I was like, this is a little too much coffee, It got to the point where it was beginning to stain my teeth. I never thought that was a real thing, but I saw it in the mirror one time. I was like, what the hell's going on? I went to the dentist. I'm like, yo, what's up with my teeth? They're like, oh, you're drinking too much coffee. You need to quit drinking coffee. And I'm like, oh, shit. Okay, well, I'll stop. Oh, God. I thought it was something weird. But, once I stopped, I went to the dentist. I got cleaned. And the stains went away miraculously, thank Christ. And then we got the Keurig. And then that, in a way, because of how much you need to fill up the Keurig, the machine itself, with water, how long it takes to brew 1 K-cup of coffee, and how many K-cups you have, right? Unless you go to Costco and buy like 1 million of them, but like, you don't always have an unlimited supply, as you kind of feel like you do when you have like the coffee grounds and then a big pot, fill it up as how much you want. It doesn't feel the same. It feels, like you're limited, which in a way is good, especially if you don't have that much self-control when it comes to drinking coffee like I did back then. So, in a way, the K-Cup, right, the Keurig, has saved my life. Thank Christ. And it's also just been, my family would always buy like a one really specific brand of coffee, like Folgers basic coffee, right? Now we buy like Donut Shop K-Cups, sometimes different flavors of them. We would buy the Costco K-Cups. And we would try different types of coffee. You just kind of narrow it down to what you like. Me personally, I've kind of narrowed it down to the basic Donut Shop coffee. It's one of my, it became like, all right, this is good. Like, this is where I will settle. Now, do I want to try other types of coffee? Of course I do. Now I have that option. You don't have to buy like a giant bag of coffee grounds and do it that way. I feel like a K-Cup is just easier. Or maybe it's the way it's because they want me to think that it's easier that way. Maybe not. I'm not sure. But it has curved my coffee drinking to a minimum, usually about like 2 cups a day. Once in the morning, maybe one in the afternoon, just to keep me awake, and that'd be it. That's all it is. But the iced coffee hack, in my opinion, has been a game changer. It definitely feels like I'm drinking pure energy. Energy that I just doesn't seem like I'm drinking when I'm drinking hot coffee. Not a huge fan of energy drinks. I mean, I might grab one here and there just to really give me a jolt. And those work, by the way. Like, those 100% work. I always thought that, they weren't as intense as like a soda, but like they're like a soda dialed up all the way. The amount of sugar they have, the amount of caffeine. Monster has like B12 vitamins and B6 vitamins in there too. That's a pretty cool thing. I didn't really know that back in the day. I was also very scared of those. I was not the biggest fan of them. One, because I didn't really care for the taste. It wasn't really, the thing I wanted to drink. I was always just a fan of soda like Coca-Cola, and that was my jam back then. And they were always like kind of like for like the edgy kids, the kids that were on the go, the skater kids, the kids who were like, kind of like they looked like they actually needed the energy, like they were going to fall asleep, or they were just like trying to do a bunch of stuff. And I was never really like that. I never really thought that I needed that much energy. I was never really that tired when I was that young. Now I kind of, I'll get them here and there if I really need a jolt. And then, I just, I go with the flow. If I crash, I crash. Most of the times when I do drink them, I don't crash, which is a good thing, because I heard that was like a problem back then. Like when they first came out, I was like, oh, you're going to crash. And that kind of introduced 5-hour energy, which I've had a couple times as well when I was in college. And let me tell you, between coffee, soda, energy drinks, and 5 Hour Energy, 5 Hour Energy worked the best. Like, that shit would make me wired. I would like almost forget that I was tired. It worked so well. I would be dialed in the moment I drank it to when it wore off. I was just wired and dialed in. I haven't had one in a long time. I thought about it, but I always just kind of, if I need it, I'll just go with the energy drink, because it just, it feels like I don't mind the taste as much as I used to when I was younger. When I was young, I was like, yeah, this tastes like crap. It tastes like a battery acid. No, thank you. But now I'm like, it's cool. It's all right. I don't mind it. I don't mind it anymore. But lately, iced coffee. That's been the way to go for me. Tastes good. I can actually feel like maybe it's a placebo effect, but it makes me feel like I'm actually drinking something that will make me stay awake. And that's all really what I need, is something that'll make me stay awake. 4th of July just passed. We had the holiday for the United States being a country. I love 4th of July. It's one of my favorite holidays of all time. Barbecuing, friends, family, fireworks, good food, being outside, even though it was pretty hot this past weekend over the 4th of July. It was worth it. Me and my friends decided to have it on the 2nd of July because a lot of us, had to work on the actual day because it's on the weekday where people, not everybody can get it off, unfortunately. And, the day after is just right back to it. But we decided to do it on a Sunday because that's when the host was going to be off. And we're like, yeah, let's just have it on this day. It was fun. Quite fun. We stay inside most of the day because that's one of the days that it was like over 100. I think it was like 107. I was like, no fucking way am I going to be outside the entire day when it's 107. We were just chilling out, watching some movies, eating some good food, chilling out. Grilled some burgers, some hot dogs, the usual suspects of 4th of July. You always gotta have that stuff, I feel like. And of course, we went to go buy some fireworks, right? We went to go buy fireworks, and I live in California, so I get all the pussy fireworks, right? I get the fireworks that you have to put on the ground and just like watch them crackle, basically. Watch these little cardboard fireworks that are in like these cardboard tubes just kind of crackle on the ground. A couple of them are pretty cool back in the day, but I'll say this: if you're gonna buy fireworks, right, and I've learned my lesson, I think it took me 3 times, but I'm pretty sure I've learned my lesson. If you're going to buy fireworks from like these stands, and if you live in California with all the pussy fireworks, I'm gonna give you some advice right here. I'm pretty sure I've learned my lesson after this. Do not buy the combo packs. If you see like a pack of fireworks, whether you go to the various different, brands of fireworks, whether it be TNT, Phantom, Freedom, wherever the hell that's here in California, do not buy the packs of fireworks. You're going to see like these big packs that have like, maybe ranging from like 6 to like 30 fireworks, right? Being like 30 the most is like $500. And you buy that, and it's like a big jumbo pack with all these fireworks, maybe even more than 30. And you're going to go to like some medium one that's like maybe 200, and you're going to go to the smaller one, which is like about like 60 to $100, right? Do not buy these packs, because as much money as you think that they are, right? A case of like 10 fireworks is like maybe even less, maybe 8 fireworks is like $70, right? One firework will be like maybe $20, $20, right? $15 to $20. And you buy 8 of these for 70. I mean, just by doing the math, these fireworks are not going to be worth anything. We bought a pack and we bought some other ones that were like individual ones, and those individual ones were a lot better than the pack. It was actually embarrassing. I think, and this just might be, how they are today, that these firework companies have really been cheapening and cheapening their products for the last like maybe 8 years, because those packs, those big packs, the value packs, the combo packs, whatever you want to call them, they just do not have the same quality as they would about 10 years ago. And there's nothing more disappointing when you spend well over $100. I spent like $162 on fireworks. And the individual ones were the best ones. That pack that cost me like $70 was terrible. I mean, like, the fireworks were so weak. They lasted for like maybe 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. They just were not good. And it was pretty bad. It was actually embarrassing. And you get the feeling in your stomach where you're like, damn, we wasted money on these, and we can't return them, nothing. They just already blew up. It's over. Dead. Gone. We're never going to see that money back again. Now, of course, me and my friends, we decided to pitch in. But when we blew them up, I was like, oh no, like, we wasted our money on this, boys. This is a dud show. Not only that, though, not just the fireworks, but the sparklers this year, right? The sparklers that you just hold on and it's like a flare or whatever. A sparkler, you know what I'm talking about. They took like at least like 10 seconds to light these motherfuckers. Like, you would have to burn off the entire paper, end, and then keep the flame on that tip just to get that thing to spark. And it took forever. And that was with every single one that I had. Bought like 2 packs. And then like every single one of those took like forever to light. Just wasting time. Just lighting this in, like trying to get it to go. Wasting the oil or the lighter fluid in the lighters. Just like putting it on there. Having to use your other sparkler to light that one too. Just a big waste of time. I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay, they just straight up are selling shitty product now. Like, these stupid ass firework companies, man, are putting out some of the worst fireworks I've seen in the past 3 years, right? Getting duped and duped every goddamn year. Every single year. For the past 3 years, it's been happening. So, I've made the conclusion. I will no longer be buying these packs, these combo packs of fireworks. Not going to do anymore. Don't care. Did more fireworks on the actual 4th of July with my family. We did not buy a pack. We bought individual ones. Every single one of them were not that big, right? Not that big. Pretty small ones. We actually thought they were really small. We thought they were going to be very, very small. Like embarrassingly small. No. Every single one of them was bigger than any of them that I bought in the pack 2 days before that. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. And they were tiny ones to like medium tiny ones that we bought on the 4th of July. All better. All lasted at least 30 seconds. I was like, dude, what? We spent like $60, $70 on that on the 4th of July ones. Bought a pack of sparklers, bought a pack of Piccolo Pete's. Combination them, one with a piccolo, one with a firework, light them off at the same time, have a cool ass show. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, dude, all right, I understand now. I will never buy one of these packs again. I now have valid evidence that this method is not it. This method does not work. It is atrocious. It's terrible. I can't believe that they get away with it every time. You know what also sucks, though, is when you go to these shops to buy fireworks, they give you a catalog, and I swear to God, the catalog makes they're not proportionally sized on it. Well, obviously it's a catalog, it's like a piece of paper, right? But I was looking at some like, hey, that one looks pretty big, we'll get that one. And then they give me this tiny little piece of shit when I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. What the fuck is this? Like, it all kind of seems like it's a scam, I'll be honest. It all seems like a very, very big scam, which I'm not behind. I don't know if I can be behind this much longer. I love the 4th of July, don't get me wrong. I love it. I love the festivities and everything, but these trashy ass fireworks, air quotes fireworks, are pretty shitty. Like they're small, they're annoying, they're way overpriced. It's like, oh my god, I might have to put my foot down and be like, no, never again. We should actually find a way to make the fireworks that are illegal in California, to make them legal, because this is just annoying. It's very annoying. I don't know if that's such a good idea now that I think about it. But then again, like, if you're going to make us, like, buy this crap, we know that there's things out there that are much better, that are illegal. Like, can you just make it, the stuff that is legal, a little bit cheaper? That way we can buy more of it. That way we don't have to feel like we're just, like, not getting enough. Because that's what it feels like now. Is like, I felt like we got a pretty good amount when we spent that $162. Like, this is going to be pretty cool. But they were all terrible fireworks, so it felt like we had nothing. It's like, shit, really? But honestly, though, if we're really being serious, like, how can we make the illegal ones legal? Like, for real, though. Like, how come they're available in other states but not here? Like, I don't understand. I understand that they're, fires and all that, but still, like, just be responsible and we can probably get them back. Possibly. Right? I don't know, but that might not be possible. I don't know. But it just kind of seemed like so, and people have them anyway. Like, they launch them all the time. I see it all the time in the neighborhood. Like, on 4th of July, they'll light them up. They don't care. I don't know. It's just like, because they cost so much money. They cost so much money and you get so little out of it. It just feels more and more every year like a scam. Well, I mean, next year, I ain't buying no pack anymore. I'm done with that. I'm going to have to tell my friends, like, yo, you got to start forking up a little more cash, Maybe we won't get as many, but they'll be better. A much better show, There's one thing, though. There's one thing about the 4th of July that I don't give a fucking shit about. I mean, I don't give a fuck about. A flying fuck about any of it. Any of it. And they televise it every fucking year. Every year. And I've seen maybe about 20 seconds of this entire event in my entire existence. About 20 seconds of it. And people watch it like every year. They tune in. They watch it passionately. They actually enjoy it. They talk about it. They tweet about it. They get excited about it. And they get really lame about it too. Like, really lame. Like, it's something that it's so dear to them that it has to go on. And that's got to be the hot dog eating contest. I don't give a flying fuck about that. I don't care if this guy can eat this many hot dogs. I don't care. Honestly, the 20 seconds that I've seen of this entire event, and it was like maybe like a Sports Center top 10 of Joey Chestnut winning the game, whatever, winning the contest, right? Good for him. He wins, right? He's a champion, I guess. He wins it every year. But watching these guys eat this shit almost makes me want to vomit every goddamn time. First of all, this man put away 62 hot dogs this year. 62. You should probably only be eating 2 hot dogs. Like, if you were going to eat hot dogs, like, for a meal, 2 max. This dude put away 62 hot dogs. And the way that they eat them, too, all fast and shit, shoving it down their throat, dipping that shit in water, is probably one of the most unappetizing, disgusting things that you could watch voluntarily. So disgusting. So just like nauseating, just nauseating. Like, you don't want to watch any of it. I've seen 20 seconds and I wanted to vomit. Even when they're done, the dude looks like he's about to explode and I still want to vomit. I'm like, oh my God, I can't fucking look at this fuck right now because I'm going to fucking explode. Like, this is hideous. And then people actually are excited about it. They tweet about it. They like and share. They're pumped up. It's like, oh, what in the fuck are you talking about? Like, you can't even do that. You would never do that. You would never do that. You never try to do that. And yet you're here watching some guy do it and you're like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me. First of all, like, do you not get disgusted by seeing this man struggle? I mean, this guy is keeping his eyes shut and chewing and swallowing at such a fast rate. He's like about to explode like at hotdog 20. And at this rate, he's got to go 40 more. It's actually painful to watch. In the 20 seconds that I've seen of this entire event, it's both nauseating, disgusting, painful, and almost like actually embarrassing to watch. It's all the bad things that you don't want to experience, and you're watching something that causes all those feelings to you, who's not even eating it, who's not even participating, who's not even competing. It's one of the dumbest things that we do. And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe that it's a thing still. That this hot dog eating contest is a thing. And you know what? I got to give it to Joey Chestnut, though. He ain't no fat fuck. Like, he's not a fat fuck. He's actually in somewhat okay shape. You know, these competitive eaters, they probably have to, like, you know, once they demolish this amount of food in this competition, they can't possibly have a good next day. They can't possibly. It's not possible. Like, seeing how much this guy puts away, you know, and the way he does it, like I said, water, like soaking his bun in water, his hot dog in water. Like, you have abandoned everything that's enjoyable about eating food and just like annihilated it in this competition to see who can eat the hot dogs the fastest. Not only that, hot dogs are a dangerous food to eat. Not only eat at a quick pace and eat a ton. Like, you remember in school when you would have like these signs when you would eat hot dog to be careful because if you don't chew it properly, it's gonna get fucking lodged in your throat and you're gonna fucking die. Unless someone gives you like, you know, gives you the Heimlich and it pumps it out of you, you know. But like, talk about a food item that is dangerous, not just like a lot, but sort of dangerous to consume at such a fast pace. That's probably why these fuckers lube it all up with water and shit. And again, like, there's not one thing that I've seen for less time, right? 20 seconds of my entire life of watching this shit and being disgusted, nauseated, embarrassed, and like, just like in pain watching than the hot dog eating contest. It is one of the worst things that has ever been created. One of the worst things that people can actually root for, and one of like the most embarrassing things that you can be caught watching. Like, oh, I'm gonna go watch this hot dog eating contest. Like, you gotta be shitting me, right? There ain't better things to do. You can't watch anything else. You gotta go watch someone eat hot dogs and look disgusted while he's eating it and in pain. Like, no thanks, bro. No thanks. And every time, it's like every time I see it, every snippet I've seen, the fucker is always looking like he's gonna fucking explode. It's like, no thank you. Absolutely not. He's like gagging too, like mid fucking eating, like, nah, fuck that. Y'all crazy, bro. I never understood the hype, the excitement, the fandom. I just don't care. I do not care. And sometimes, you know what? You can't care about everything. You know, I care about a lot of things. Football, basketball, baseball, video games. I don't give a people. Some people can find that so repulsive, right? But if you find that repulsive, I feel like you sort of have to find the hot dog eating contest even more repulsive. Just watching it is painful. Absolutely painful. And that's like got to be the worst possible thing that we do for this entire fucking holiday. Yeah, sure, we can get pretty corny wearing everything that's, red, white, and blue, whatever. Okay, whatever, cool. But this shit, fucking eating all these fucking hot dogs and watching somebody do it, being in absolute enormous amounts of pain, full to the stomach, has to be like just like the bottom of the barrel. Like, oh God, like, what have we done? I understand that hot dogs are a staple for barbecue. They kind of been like a thing where you gotta eat hot dogs on the 4th of July. Okay, cool, whatever. But you don't gotta make it a contest like this, where it's actually disgusting, like repulsive. Like I don't want to watch this at all. You couldn't pay me. I would never want to like actually go to this thing and like watch them. I might actually throw up, and it takes a lot to make me throw up. But I would be like, I also took a vow never to throw up again. But like, you can never catch me there. I would never ever be there, ever. Family members there, cousins there. No, okay, whatever. I'll check it out. Maybe the highlights. I'll just be like, hey, did he win? No, he lost. Okay, whatever. See ya. I don't know. It's just something that has always disgusted me, and just been like, so like not for me at all. And it's like super hardcore. Like, no chance will I ever watch it. Like, but I don't care. I like everything else. 4th of July, but that hot dog eating contest, bro, piss off. Like, who gives a fuck about that? All right, now moving on to something that is not as repulsive, is not as disgusting, not as hard. Well, might be as hard to watch, but I would say a lot more disappointing. Over the weekend, I did see. It was, I believe, July 3rd. We went to the movies, the family and I. We went to go see the new Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, starring yours truly, Harrison Ford. Yes, he is back again, playing Indiana Jones for the 5th time in his career, at the bright age of 80 years old. Yes. Now, of course, he is not... wasn't 80 when he filmed it, but he is 80 now promoting it, so close enough. Probably about like, 78, 79 when he filmed it. Still old as shit, but still kicking ass, right? And that's always good to see Harrison Ford like still like commit to the role. And this role of Indiana Jones being like his all-time favorite, not only career-defining role, but I think that is his favorite role of all time. He's been very, very public about how much he loves playing Indiana Jones and being that character, and how he wants nobody to touch it because that's still his character. And, if I was an actor and I was famous for a character that, gave me fame, popularity, got me all these opportunities and these roles, I would probably think the same thing. I would be like, that's mine. No one can touch it. But there's also some part of me that kind of is like in the realm of like, yeah, why not? Why not? I can't play him forever. If I do, when I do get older, I won't be able to do the things that I was able to do when I first started. Like, Raiders of the Lost Ark came out in like, what, 1981, I think? Around there? 1980s, early 1980s? He was so much younger back then, and it was like perfect for him to be the fighting archaeologist, the always hunting for treasure, preserve it in a museum. He had a whip, he had some gun skills, he was a fighter, punching people, he knew how to hold his own, And then, of course, as he gets older, you can't really film that as easy as it was back in 1981. And, that was kind of one of the things that I noticed about this film in particular. And even before that, I noticed it even, of course I noticed it too when he was, brought back as Han Solo in Episode 7 in The Force Awakens. When you can tell that, of course, well, that's actually Han Solo there, played by Harrison Ford. as much as that's cool to see, you have to admit the things that require athleticism and youth are not there. You can't really do that when you're like 70 years old. Just not possible. So, in terms of the fact that he doesn't want anybody else to play Indiana Jones, well, then I guess you just kill off the character and you maybe make a new character within that universe, which is what I want them to do. I think that would be very cool to see in the future. So him being this old, coming back to the role, he played it very well still in this movie. Even though he's older, the action cannot be as brisk. It can't be as entertaining as it would have been when he was, back in 1981 with the Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? It just, it's going to happen. He's very good in this film. In Dial of Destiny, he's very, very good. He brings it. He's not phoning it in. He's having fun. He is playing an older Indiana Jones. Now, if you've seen Harrison Ford doing press, doing interviews, there isn't very much different between him and Indiana Jones. Like, he's almost like playing like a version of himself. Grumpy, pissed off, not wanting to be involved in shit. Just, let me do my thing and that's it. I'll say this because I only know that because I don't know anything else, right? He's playing like Indiana Jones is almost like a version of Harrison Ford. But it fits though. It fits. It's not like he totally changed the character. It's just like that's how you would expect the character to age into, especially with how the story is set up. He's still teaching archaeology. He's still a professor there. He's still got students to take care of or to teach. Of course, they probably don't want to learn it as much as he's interested in. So it's like, you got that, going around. But you see that in not just him and in this movie, but you see that in, other fields of actual real life people. Like, when you got an old teacher that is, it wants you to learn the material, but if the student doesn't want to learn, then he loses his motivation. So it's like, a give and take. And you see that very well in this movie, and he plays it so well, right? He plays it so well, like I've said. I wish that the movie, like Harrison Ford's good acting, I wish the movie was good, because this movie's not good. Right off the bat, one of the biggest things I noticed in the very beginning of the movie, there is a flashback sequence. It's about 25 minutes of Indiana Jones back in time. I think the year is like 1945, 44, I can't remember, 41 maybe, 1940s. And you see this in the trailer too. He's de-aged. He's meant to look like he's back in like Raiders of the Lost Ark Indiana Jones, like young, right? Like young Harrison Ford. And they use the de-aging technology. And when he's not moving his face or talking, it looks decent. But he's got to say things, and he's got to move, and he's got to do, move around, do action scenes. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. I mean, you can tell, and they did their best to try to cover it because the sequence is at night, so they could probably give you shitty lighting, and you'd be like, oh, well, it's at night. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that explains it. But they could not hide it as well as they thought that they could. Like, you can tell, as he moves his head, as he moves his mouth, it was just fake. It was fake. It looked like a video game. It was like, I can't look at this guy. He looks so fake. I can't do it. Why did they do this? It was actually distracting. It was distracting. I could not get past it. I thought I would be able to because, I've seen this in, Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett with Luke Skywalker. The second season of Mandalorian, I think they de-aged Mark Hamill's face, and it looked okay, but it didn't look that great. And I think in Book of Boba Fett, they used deepfake, and that looked way, way, way better. They should have used deepfake in this, because not only was he, stiff and not moving that great, he also sounded like he was 80 years old, which was another thing that takes you out of the entire sequence of what happens. Like, they did not think, I don't know why, but they didn't think to alter his voice, because his voice sounds just like it does now, but on younger Indy's face. I actually was like kind of appalled and kind of like scratching my head like, hold on, wait, are they even trying? Like, what the fuck are they doing here? Like, you can't just like change his face to make him look younger and keep his 80-year-old fucking grizzly raspy ass voice. I couldn't believe that they did that they let that go into theaters. You know, just like the sheer no effort put into making him sound younger, like they just ignored it. I could not believe it. Like, whose idea was this? Lucasfilm? Was this Disney? Was it Harrison Ford? Like, I could not. It took me out of the film. I was like, no way. Like, first of all, like I said, the lighting is bad. They don't really show his face because they can't afford to do it. But now they have him having like these old man lines come from a younger looking dude. It's like, none of this is working. It's just not working. I kid you not, the sequence itself is cool, but him looking the way he looks, sounding the way he looks, ruined it. It ruins it. It takes you, like, it breaks everything. It's like, oh, this is totally not real. This feels fake. And not only that, there's a scene too when he's running across the top of a train, and I guess they wanted, even though you don't even see him, it's from afar, but you can see his body running. I guess they had Harrison Ford actually run that and put that in the film. And you see him run across the train, and you can tell it's an 80-year-old man running. I was like, where's the body double? Where is the younger actor to portray a younger Harrison Ford? What are we doing? Are we trying to make this movie good? Where's the effort? I don't understand. Whatever happened to recasting? Casting a younger actor to play that same character, just younger. What happened to that? Or even use, if you're not going to do that, use a deepfake and just deepfake the face and get a younger person to do the movements of that character. I don't understand why they had to put 80-year-old ass Harrison Ford and make him run when it's back in time. This is just not believable. I couldn't believe it. Like, how could they possibly think that people were not going to see that, not only make fun of it, but call it out for lack of effort, lack of creativity, and lack of just like serving the story better? Was it Harrison Ford being like, nah, no one can play Indy but me? Well, that's just being selfish. You're putting yourself above the quality of the movie, the quality of the story. Maybe fuck right off. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't want to disrespect you, but maybe fuck right off. I'll be honest. I just don't think that is allowed. That should not have been allowed. They let that happen. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. So right off the bat, it's a pretty cool scene. It's back in the 1940s with the Nazis. It's pretty cool. You get like a bit of a backstory of who the villain's going to be, which is Mads Mikkelsen. He plays a Kraut, and he's pretty good. Mads Mikkelsen, I'll be honest, him and Harrison Ford really put it all out there for this movie. Like, Harrison Ford can play the hell out of Indiana Jones. Mads Mikkelsen can play the hell out of a bad guy. Like, he is so good at playing the bad guy. Like, he should be just given bad guy roles because he's that good at it. It's crazy. The voice, the line delivery, the way he looks, he's got that villainy look. Like, he just nails villains. He's almost like a Christoph Waltz. Like, he can just play bad guys. And we just assume that, oh, he's a bad guy. Or even Giancarlo Esposito. Like, Mads Mikkelsen, Christoph Waltz, and Giancarlo Esposito. Just, like, give them bad guy roles. And we will believe them. And they're, like, the best at it. Of playing bad guys. It's crazy. So, yeah, that whole thing, happens. There's a scene that happens to Mads Mikkelsen character. There's one thing that happens to his character in order for him to get away from younger Indy in the flashback. And most people would be like, why do they do that? It's a way for him to essentially escape Indy, or Indy escapes him. Yeah, Indy escapes him because something's going to happen. But this thing happens, and I shit you not, they could have done something entirely different to make him get away and be more believable than that shit that they did. I won't say what it is, because it's, if you watch it or if you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's pretty glaring, and it's actually kind of like, what happened there? Like, did they just not care? Like, why did they have that happen? I don't understand. And it's not something that comes back in the future either. Like, it's just so stupid. I couldn't believe that actually happened. Lazy writing there. But now to get to the actual real thing of the story, Indy is looking for this Dial of Destiny thing that's like broken up into two pieces. The Kraut guy has it. He has another piece, I believe. And then they want to bring them together. And then this whole like Dial of Destiny is supposed to like open or guide you to little rips in time to go back in time. That's essentially what happens. That's the purpose of this whole thing. And yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll buy into this. This is cool. This is all right. We flash back into the 60s where he's, older Indy, kind of an alcoholic. That's Lucasfilm really just wants to beat down the Harrison Ford character in these film franchises. They made Harrison Ford, they killed him. They made him a sad sack. They made him a sad sack here too. At the very beginning, I was like, dude, what did he do to y'all? Like, this is crazy. And it just was like, okay, this is Indy. All right, I can get behind this. He's just like kind of uninspired. This is kind of all right. Uninspiring, not very fun, but when's the adventure going to start? And that's kind of like how the film also kind of felt. Like it was like very, very slow in a lot of parts. The movie is 2.5 hours, and I've said that I don't care about the runtime of a film. If it's long and it's a good film, it won't feel like that. Well, this is not a good film, and that runtime is felt very much. They could have at least cut like a half hour of this movie, and it would have been a lot better. There's a lot of shit, a lot of explaining stuff that it did not need to take as long as it did. I'll be honest, like the pacing was really all over the place. It was kind of fast in some areas, and in some areas it just took forever to get to the other place. Like, it just from point A to point B just should not take that long in a modern day film. It should not. Having said that, and kind of branching off of that, this film is not directed by Steven Spielberg. It's directed by James Mangold, who I have loved his previous, 2 films. Ford versus Ferrari and Logan. Fantastic films. I don't think that he did the best he could with this film. I think that he attempted to make an Indiana Jones film, and it was not a good attempt. I'll be honest, I miss the pacing of Steven Spielberg. The pacing of his films, he just does it so well. Raiders, Temple, Crusade, even Crystal Skull has incredible pacing. This movie, you feel the drag, and it's a long drag. Like, you can just feel it, and like nothing's happening. We're taking too long here. Why are we doing this? Why are we still here? What's going on? Are we gonna move on? What's going? It's like it takes forever, and it's just like, dang, what the fuck happened here? Like, you can definitely tell. Like, it just felt like their sad, sorry attempt to make an Indiana Jones film, and it just was not it. It just wasn't it. And, the introduction to this, his daughter or his godfather, Helena, played by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, is not the most likable character. Like, kind of snarky, pretty arrogant, I would say. is kind of like fighting with Indy like half of the movie, which is like, like what the fuck? And her backstory is kind of weak, I'll be honest. There's a character that's also introduced at the very beginning of the film, which is her father. You know, her father and Indy are on this mission in World War II at the beginning of the film, right? That flashback is that they're on a mission to get this Dial of Destiny. And for them to like create this new character who is her father, which is her daughter, which is Indy's goddaughter, and that relationship between Indy and the father is so small and so brief, and there's not much to it. I can't really grasp why he cares so much about Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character and why he cares so much about this guy, because it's all in flashbacks and it's so quick, and it's just like there isn't really built up of his character, Indy's friend, and the goddaughter for me to even give a flying shit about either of those characters. It's just like, it's not there. There's no chemistry there. There's like no relationship. Or why does he care? She's an asshole. Why does he care about her? She's trying to wreck his shit, you know? Almost gets him killed. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, what the fuck? And it's like, dude, this is just not working out. This is just not working out. She also comes off as sort of like a know-it-all, too. It's like, dude, like, you just don't, like, what happened here? Like, it's almost like they forgot to build up that character to make you actually care about it and not just be annoyed by her. You know, it's sad. It's truly sad, because she's probably not even the bad actress. She played it well. It's just they kind of made her like arrogant and annoying and like always fighting with Indy. It's like, are you kidding? Like, what the fuck? Why is this not working out? You know, and it worked out in Crystal Skull because Shia LaBeouf was like that character, but he kind of grew into it because he realized that that was his dad and the relationship that, you know, because his mom comes on the mission too, right? Marion comes on that mission, and there's a relationship built there. There's like a relationship and like a reveal, and he works his way into like, okay, well, I guess if you're my dad, then, you know, I'm gonna, you know, let's do it. There's none of that really in this one, and it's just like, it's sad. It's just like, well, they don't even like each other, and they're just going with it, you know. Well, yeah, I guess, you know, you got to get me to this place, and that's just it, you know. It's just really like an adventure that's just like, it's like a long journey that we just got to get through it. Like, okay, whatever, growing pains or some shit like that. It's just gonna be an annoyance. It's like, all right, whatever you're saying, let's just get through it. And that's just kind of how the whole movie kind of plays out, is let's just get through it, because it's so long, it's slow. The characters are like not that interesting. The objective is not that interesting, and it's just like, damn, this is just like not good. This movie's pretty mediocre. Like, it's sad to say, but it is. And like I said before that, you know, you could tell that this movie is just not, you know, it's an attempt. It's an actual attempt to make an Indiana Jones film. You know, Steven Spielberg was supposed to direct it. He was supposed to do it, but he backed out. I don't know what happened or why that happened. They brought in James Mangold, and I thought that this was going to be a lit-ass movie. No, just wasn't that. It wasn't good. It wasn't that fun. There were some fun moments, but overall, it's just like not really an inspired movie. Not inspired, not fun. Just kind of a drag. And that might also be because of the runtime. Like, the runtime is atrocious. It feels long. And the characters kind of suck besides Indy. And there's just not that much there. The fact that he can't really do a lot of stunts anymore kind of sucks too. I mean, it just feels like I'm watching an old guy, you know, just go through all this stuff. It's like, damn, this is not entertaining really at all. Not as much as they probably thought it was. On paper, it probably sounded pretty entertaining, but when you watch it, no, not really, no. But yeah, just pretty mediocre. Pretty mediocre. Now that if I'm going to actually rank all the films, because believe it or not, I watched every single Indiana Jones film before I saw this recently. And they're all better than Dial of Destiny. Let me tell you that. Of course, number one is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the Lost Ark is just perfect. The perfect adventure film. Perfect pace, perfect characters, perfect mythology. Very cool archaeological stuff. Awesome. Different locations. Very cool. Appealing to the eyes. Cool characters, like I said. And, actually a little creepy, a little freaky too at the end. Number two for me is Last Crusade. Probably one of the funnier Indiana Jones films. Him and Sean Connery together was brilliant. Just like a perfect father-son dynamic duo. I love when he's like, Dad. It's just so funny because it's so relatable. It's like what you do with your dad. Like, Dad, come on, Dad. It's so fun to watch. And to me, and I've been talking to my brother about this too, the way The Last Crusade ends is how it should have ended. Is how Indiana Jones, the character, should have ended. Riding off into the sunset after completing their journey, their adventure, rather. Perfect. Number three, Temple of Doom. Probably the most annoying thing about that entire movie is Willie. Willie was fine for me. Didn't bother me when I was a kid. Rewatched the movie like a week ago. She's pretty goddamn annoying. She's pretty fucking annoying. Like the amount of times that she screams and yells and complains, it's too much. Too fucking much. The addition to Short Round, though, was so much fun. By the way, what the fuck, Disney? Where the fuck was Short Round? Short Round was not even mentioned in this film. I couldn't believe it. I just, the actor just won an Oscar, and, you didn't put him in your film? Could not believe it. Adding Short Round, adding anyone else from previous Indiana Jones films probably would have made this movie so much better and made it so much more impactful. Do I want to tell you what happened to Shia LaBeouf's character? Should I? All right, I will. Spoilers, everyone. Shia LaBeouf's character, right? Indiana Jones' son, Mutt, is dead. They killed him. Now, of course, Shia LaBeouf was getting some pretty, tangly shit, not in his personal life and his that would affect his acting career, but still, they killed him. They just wrote off his character that he died in the war after enlisting, and that's why, another spoiler right here, that's why Indy and Marion are divorcing, because they could not recuperate and come back from losing their son. Just well, this sucks. This is not fun to watch. I think that Disney thinks that sadness and depressing shit are good character development. I don't think that's true. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that you have to actually make someone sad to change them. You just have to change their character, not make them sad. Come on. But yeah, they killed off Shia LaBeouf's character. Couldn't believe it. I was like, no fucking way they killed him. I was like, yo, where is he in the commercials? Why is he not in the trailer? Why? He's his son. Where did he go? No mention? Nothing? No, he died in the war. Okay. Sure. Okay. All right. Whatever. Just kill them all off. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care anymore. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. No Short Round. No Mutt. Short Round should have been there. Where is he? Why is he not why was he not mentoring under Indy? He seemed like he was his best friend. Are you kidding me? He's just not there. He's gone. No mention of him either. Come on, bro. You're supposed to be the movie to tie things together, to bring things back. I don't know. A lot of expectations and nothing fulfilled. So that was back to the ranking. Temple of Doom is number 3. Some Raiders, Crusade, and Temple. Number 4 was actually not expected to do this. I rewatched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And that movie is better than The Dial of Destiny. It actually is better. The pacing, the story, the action sequences, the effects, the straight up archaeology, the mystery, the clues and all that, the investigating stuff, Indiana Jones himself, much more fun to watch than Dial of Destiny. Much more fun. The banter between him and Mutt is great. The addition of his mom is great. The Kate Blanchett character is more believable. I mean, it's in the 50s, right? Of course we're fighting the Soviets. Why the fuck? I mean, how come? Why are we still fighting the Nazis in the 60s? Like, well, I thought they were gone. Like, why are we going backwards with these villains? Like, I don't understand. The Russians would have been a better thing, but people were like, no, Indiana Jones just fights Nazis. Well, you're dumb, bro. You don't understand the passage of time. The enemies change. So do the good guys. All right, get over it. I remember that same exact complaint when the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull came out. Why is he not fighting Nazis? Well, newsflash, idiot. It's the 50s. They're pretty much gone. The Russians are the enemy now. Get with the times, you idiot. Couldn't believe that was an actual complaint. But Crystal Skull, as crazy as it is, right? He survived a fucking nuke in a fridge. Newsflash for you. He survived thousands of feet in a boat in Temple of Doom. He dropped out of a plane thousands of feet in the air in an inflatable boat and lived. Get used to it, all right? Don't give me shit about this. He survived a nuke in a fridge. Motherfucker, like, you have to be all in on this. They just upped the ante, you dunce. And the dialogue is so much better in Crystal Skull. The pacing is phenomenal. It's actually phenomenal. The action is so much better, and it just has that Spielberg flair that, as much as I love James Mangold, was missing in this movie. It was missing. It felt slow. The action felt slow. The action felt clunky. The direction felt clunky. I'm sorry, it just did. It just did. Rewatching Crystal Skull and then going right into Dial of Destiny, I'm like, yeah, Crystal Skull had some pretty crazy moments. I cannot get behind Shia LaBeouf swinging with the monkeys. I can't get behind that. That's a bad moment. That's really stupid. But it's just like a brief thing and then it goes away. It's not like in Dial of Destiny where like this whole thing about him de-aging is just like, oh my god, this is just unbearable. Why is this even happening? Or the character of the Phoebe Waller-Bridge character just being like there just to piss him off and go to war with him. It's like, this is so silly. This is not fun to watch. What are we doing here? Like, and it's throughout the entire film and this entire bullshit. Nah, bro. After seeing Crystal Skull again, it's better. It is better than Dial of Destiny. I encourage you to watch Crystal Skull and then Dial of Destiny and then come back and tell me that I was right. Because I truly do think that Crystal Skull is better. It is better. I'll be honest, it is. And it brings back, again, Marion, old character, still there, that is in a major part of the movie. I mean, they brought back Sala in Dial of Destiny, which was nice, but he's barely in it. He's like barely in it. It's like, come on. You're going to take him away? Are you joking? But yeah, that movie was an actual like disappointment. And actually, it's showing. It's not doing very well at the box office. It cost almost $300 million to make. I could not believe that fucking budget. Like, are you kidding me? How does an Indiana Jones movie take that much money to make? Was it all the CGI? Was it the de-aging? The process of filming? Was it the fact that Harrison Ford was injured on the set? Like, what? You can't tell me that an Indiana Jones movie is going to cost you that much money. It can't do. And you're going to make you're not going to make that all back? Like, this movie ain't going to do much after this weekend. I'm sorry, because after this, next weekend's Mission Impossible. Y'all are screwed. After that's going to be Oppenheimer and Barbie. Y'all done. You ain't making shit. And I saw all these movie times at the theater, there weren't even that much for this movie at all in any theater that I saw. Like, not like as much as like, of course, like a Marvel movie, but like still, there wasn't even that many showings opening weekend. I was like, no way. This can't be happening. This is actually going to bomb. This movie's going to bomb. And it is bombing. Crazily. That budget is actually embarrassing. Like, to think about that how much that movie cost to make and it not be anywhere like a good movie, like a enjoyable movie, like, that's crazy to me. I cannot believe that. It's insane. Well, maybe they'll start making better movies again. Maybe they won't make as many movies have this insane budget. Like, if you think about it, bro, Disney is not making a lot of money right now. This movie bombed. They put out a Pixar movie that didn't make any money, Elemental. And then they had the Ant-Man and the Wasp Part 3 that didn't do well at all. One of their best movies, I think, this year was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And that's actually a fantastic movie. That's actually a fantastic movie that people saw because, I'm going to say it, word of mouth is really the best advertisement. I mean, you're not getting people saying anything about Dial of Destiny. Let me tell you that. Ain't nobody going to be saying, go see Dial of Destiny. No way, no how. No one's going to be saying that. And you're going to be like, nah, you don't need to see that shit. I'm not going to tell anybody to see this because it's a disappointing movie. It's not a fun movie for me to watch. I wouldn't watch it again. What makes you think I'm going to tell people to watch it? You're goddamn mind. Maybe Disney, just maybe, inject a little bit of creativity, cut down on these budgets a little bit, and maybe put something out that people want to watch. Then maybe we'll talk. All right? I can't think of anybody, Disney, who's watching this fucking Marvel Secret Invasion crap. I can't think of anybody who's watching that piece of shit. No one. I watched 17 minutes of it because I was working out and I wanted someone to watch, and never went back to it. I'm like, boring, get out of my face. Like, get out of my face. Like, nobody wants to watch. As much as I love Sam Jackson, I don't give a fuck about Nick Fury. Well, actually, I do. I don't give a fuck about Skrulls or whatever the fuck. I don't care about that. I do not care about that. Sorry. Maybe make something that actually people want to watch. And then come back. I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyways, people, that's going to be it for me today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You can find this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. This new episodes drop every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, rate, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next week.